40 webinars, and today we are on 41st webinar with an amazing speaker. And the topic for today is Reinvent Self and Thrive in Ambiguous Time, where the abbreviation is RSTAT. Thank you for registering and being here at this hour of time, being Saturday, which is a weekend, both places, whether it is UAE or India. So NLG has been started with Jason and myself, Sushma. It was an amazing start, and it has been a wonderful journey till date. Jason is an amazing storyteller. He's a speaker. He is an expert in Canva as well. And if you see his LinkedIn profile, he has such a big network. He's a networking expert, and he creates so much of content, so many videos. He has his own series of stories. If you can watch and learn from that as well, there are so many amazing conversations on that with that stories, and so many success stories, so many learnings. He's an avid listener and on a mission to connect with 100,000 souls. I'm an HR professional and NLP master practitioner. I love HR, and I'm passionate about creating value with human touch, listening to people's problem and giving them solutions, creating positive impact, and unleashing the potential within us. We all have so much within ourselves. Next is our pillars of NLG, Takyuddin Theparambil and Anil Kunaku. Takyuddin is QHSE professional, entrepreneurship enthusiast, and he has recently started with his food business. He is an MBA in HR and MSc in biotechnology. Anil is an HR professional and NLP master practitioner. He's a coach, a mentor, a distinguished Toastmaster. He has AK thoughts, which we see in our groups daily. He's a career coach as well. And he is currently associated with a Singapore-based university to coach and mentor students. They are the pillars of NLG. The work we see, there is so much going behind the scenes, and that's where the team is amazing. And that's why we are here today. And we are coming here every week. Why is networking and learning group? So networking and learning group is created to network, learn, and share knowledge with each other. And you can be here next time. Please let us know if you are willing to share something with us. That will be a great learning for all of us. We have two different groups. So one is NLG League, another is NLG Career. NLG League is all about sharing knowledge, experiences. If you have any queries, you can put them in the group and people can assist. Anything which you, any read which you see very helpful potential, then you can share that as well. NLG Career is more about jobs and vacancies which are being posted so that you can apply for those. You can connect with us on various platforms, which is Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp. We'll be sharing the links as well in the chat box in some time so that you can share those with others and join as well. There are certain rules we'll follow. Please keep yourself muted so that speaker can take you through the session, and there will be Q&A at the end. You can use the chat box for comments, questions, reactions, or you may raise hand in case of any queries. You may take notes or screenshots as you like. These are some of the sessions which we had earlier. There has been amazing speakers on the platform sharing so much of knowledge with us, and with all these learnings we have it today. We have today an amazing speaker with us, Mr. Sudevan KJ, and I welcome him today on this platform. Thank you for coming here and taking us through your learnings and journey. He is the CEO of Arise, the Change Hub. ex-officer of Indian Army. And I myself never knew this earlier unless he shared his profile with me. He's an exclusive communication speaker. He's a posh enabler, spearheaded launch of trainings with various brands like JetKing, NIT Global, Net IIJT. He's member of Board of Studies and DQAC. There is so much to talk about, and I'll hand over, but I'll not take much time and hand over to him. Thank you once again and welcome on NLG.
Thank you, Sushma. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, Sushma, and thank you, Jason, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. Thank you very much, and also for creating this particular platform for people to share, learn, and grow. Thank you very much. And a very warm welcome to all the participants and a joyful evening to all of you. The topic today is restart, reinvent self to thrive in ambiguous times. All of us are going through difficult times. Our lives have changed for the last 1 year. Yes or yes? Each one of us wants to better in life, move ahead in life, and especially when it is difficult times. What changes will you bring in to yourself to thrive in this situation? That is a question all of you will be having. And here I am, Sudevan Kalabadath Janardhanan, to help and share my experiences and my insights so that it will benefit you and help you to thrive in these ambiguous times. Ambiguous times. Can you type in the chat box what for you is ambiguous times? Maybe difficult, you might have lost job, you might have faced difficulties in running your business, some kind of difficulties you might have faced. So what is that for you as an individual, be it a professional or an entrepreneur, whatever it may be? I can see the chat box, right? Okay, fine. So let's move on with what is ambiguous times. The COVID-19, the pandemic is what has put us into this crisis. So crash of economy is the major factor what the entire globe is facing. The biggest challenge for all of us is job losses. So telecom industry with over 1 billion connections employs almost 4 million, grown to 10% during this pandemic. It's a good sign, right? So it has contributed about 6.5% of the GDP in 2019. That is the Indian case. Okay, I'm talking about the Indian industry. Pharmaceutical industry is on a rise, definitely, but few are under pressure due to imposed restriction on exporting drugs and equipments, etc. But to be very open, no drugs or the equipment which is manufactured is lying in their manufacturing units. The government imposed such a restriction is only to ensure that our facilities are meeting the requirements. That is the only reason there was a restriction towards drugs and equipments. Online classes, work from home, we have become online, right? So what is that? Let me can anybody, if you permit, we can have somebody unmuting and speaking. Sushma?
Yes, sure, sure.
Online classes, what is the view people have?
Yes. If anyone wants to discuss, I have already put it in the chat box that working from home and kids also studying from home is the biggest challenge.
Okay.
For me, it's like losing a source of income.
No, see, I'll tell you one thing. Very, very, the kind of experience I had in 2016. I was on a 3-day session for an engineering college, engineering passed out students. They passed out from 2014, 15, and 16. So government was offering a program on TechUp, which is funded by World Bank and UGC. So for all these 3 years of people who have passed out from the electrical engineering, and they were 35 students were selected. Out of the 30 days of technical training they were undergoing, 3 days was soft skills. So after the 3 days of training, I have told they had a lot of worries because they have experienced the rejections, and none of them were able to settle into a dream job of theirs. None of these 35 students were into electrical engineering. Actually, that was the biggest worry these students had. So when I was discussing, so I realized that discussion is not going to end that particular day because I had to travel back to Cochin. So I told there was a guy who used to take initiative and who was showing demonstrating leadership qualities. So I told him, okay, do one thing, collect everybody's phone number and create a WhatsApp group. So you can ask me questions so that I will answer it. Then everybody, all other 34 will be benefited out of it. And I left the scenario, right? Coming home, I used to have, questions and all. After a week time, I find there is a girl who says I got rejected because of GD. Okay. So what I thought was, okay, I give them a topic. That was the time during that time, the topic which was hot in among the companies. So I have given them the topic and I told them you can speak in favor as well as against on that particular topic, and post it in the group. People will get to know and learn. So after around a week time, I had a call from a person. He said, I'm the HOD of so-and-so college. The college which has conducted this this thing. He said, what is this? What nonsense you are doing? What is the point in doing all these things? Will they learn? Will they improve their, communication skills and ability to, conduct a GD? So I was wondering, what is this? And it went off like that. Finally, that group got dissolved. Okay. So this was the situation in 2016, just 4 years back. And I know a lot of teachers who used to say that mobile phone is only for talking and text messaging, not for any other purpose. No smartphone is required. And I had seen people who using smartphones, but not even, there is no WhatsApp, there is no, even mail was not configured in their smartphones. That was the situation. But we have learned a lot of things from this pandemic, that there is one way of survival. Meeting all means, connecting ends together. That is online. Teachers have become online. Those who were very reluctant and to become online have come online, started taking classes. Teachers used to say that no, only you can effectively conduct a class only if it is live, face to face. Online it is not possible. But now these people are all taking classes. Students are attending classes from home, sitting safely at home, going on with the classes. And a lot of corporates who had a problem in ensuring that work from home is going to affect the productivity of individuals have also realized that work from home is also going to happen properly without any problems. That is how this pandemic has taught us, moved us to online. Now let's see if some of the sad things happened in this because of this ambiguity. If you take the case of India, India lost 25% of the jobs. Unemployment rate shot up from 8.7% to 23.5%. Layoffs, 90 million out of 500 million people. 500 million employees, out of 500 million employees, we lost 90 million jobs. If you look at Canada, Canada lost 15% of jobs. Unemployment shoot up to 13% from 5. 3 million job losses out of 20 million workforce. If you take Russia, 14% is the job loss. Employment rate is expected to grow to 4.7%. And out of 72 million workforce, they have lost 10 million jobs. So this is some of the few of the very noticeable layoffs happened in this particular this data is from July 2020. So the most affected industry across the globe is aviation and tourism. It is said that the effect of COVID-19 is going to be more harder than 9/11 and economic slowdown in 2008. Aviation industry contributed 2.4% and tourism industry contributed 9.2% to our GDP, that is India GDP before pandemic. A humongous number of layoffs, nearly 38 million lost their jobs, which is about 70% of the total workforce in the aviation and tourism industry in India. An estimated loss of around 85 billion rupees due to travel restrictions in India alone. This data is from the Indian Association of Tour Operators, IATO. The actuals are actually not limited. Almost everyone got affected, losing jobs to closing down businesses. A lot of people lost their job. We have been, people who believe that I am well off, I am settled, I am excellent, have to fall down and, stuck up in such a situation wherein they are not aware that how to go about it. I always used to, when I used to deal with students or, freshers, youths, I used to tell them, all of us have seen in the previous layoffs which happened, we had seen the media hyping that, okay, say the ABC company has, put off or laid off 900 people out of 1,000 staff. 100 only retained. See, I used to tell students, and everybody has to look into that. Do not look at this 900. Okay, it is a sad part as far as this 900 people, but we feel sorry for them. But the thing is that when you are looking at it from a different perspective, you have to look at this 100 people who were retained in the organization, though the organization is struggling. That is what you have to look at. Why? Because even in a difficult situation, even in the crisis, the management thought of retaining these 100 people because they believe that this 100 is going to take the company forward. So the question is, do you want to be in that 900 who lost the job, or do you want to make sure that your skills are so accepted by the organization or the management that you become one among the 100? That is something what you are supposed to look at. Now the question comes is that understanding self. How do we look at ourselves and see that what all things are needed to be done in order to ensure that we move forward, we can thrive even in this ambiguity. So focus on yourself. What is my dream? Ask yourself. What is my passion? Ask yourself. What is my goal? Do I have a goal? What am I good at? This is something which all of us have to ask ourselves. And what I really love doing and enjoy doing. Because many of the times what happens is, see, After leaving the Navy in 2004, I am in the education industry for the last 16 years. So what I have realized is, a lot of students have come across me. I have trained them. These people have gone with a lot of expectations, got into IT companies, and irrespective of looking into their 4 years of education in engineering, they have not bothered that I am getting into a IT company as a software engineer, but I have completed 4 years of mechanical engineering studies or electronics studies or EEE, or I had seen civil engineers going as IT computers software engineers in IT companies, right? So later on, after 5 to 7 years or 10 years, they realize that what am I doing actually? I have some inclination towards mechanical engineering or automobile or electrical or electronics, and I'm doing software development. What for am I doing this? So people start asking at a later period. Then it is quite difficult to switch careers. So you have to see that what you really love doing, enjoy doing, and what are you good at it. You might be, you might enjoy doing something, but you are good at something else. And you have to see that whether you are good at something, if you are good at something, and is it in a position to monetize it? Because there is something called revenue, what is required for you to survive. Okay, so your skills are supposed to be monetized. Then only you will be able to move forward. Then only you can meet your ends together. So value yourself. Understand what is the requirement, what the skills you have, and how can you ensure that it is of value for others, be it an organization. Company doesn't require Sudevan or anybody, right? Your name or you are not required for the company. The company is looking at your skills. What difference can you make to the company is what is the question you should ask yourself before you go for an interview. That is what is required. Your skills are yours, right? Your talents, your abilities. Nobody else can, I think when you value yourself, you don't bother about what others are thinking. And to understand that what others think is none of your business, actually, right? Because what I think is my business, what you think is your business. How can I interfere in your thinking, or how can you interfere in my thinking? We don't have to bother about what others think. It is their perception. Accept the fact that you are unique. Your abilities, your skills, your talents are only yours. Nobody else can put themselves into it. You will not get fit into somewhere else if you try to do, because you are made like this for a reason, right? You, the original you, is more valuable than a duplicate one if you try to imitate somebody, right? This is something which all of you have to understand. So once you understand, okay, what is that I am gifted with. Many of the times what happens is that we don't look at ourselves, what all gifts we have. We look at others, what they have. Oh, I don't have that. She or he has that, and I am not gifted with it. But if you look at yourself, you will know that how blessed you are. And you got up in the morning today, attending this session is itself is a blessing. There are a lot of people, in lakhs of people who couldn't get up in the morning today. So you have been blessed with a day, gifted with a day to improve. Look at yourself, how I did my last day, previous day, yesterday, how did I do? Try to improve more than that today. That is how you become a, human being. That is very important for you to think about it, and develop an attitude of gratitude to say thank you to all those people who had given you pain as well as give you joy, happiness. Because if somebody made you happy, fantastic. You say thank you to him or her. because they have made your day by making you happy. But look at the other side. The person who has given you pain, he has also given you some experience. You learned something. He has made you tougher to withstand that particular pressure or stress. So thank him also, thank her also. So if you develop an attitude of gratitude, you are going to become more and more positive. You radiate positivity. You will attract more positive people towards you. That is what is the magic of attitude of gratitude. Now, how do you reinvent yourself? Every time it is not possible for you to keep yourself intact with the situations changing. But especially in a situation like this, when you find that I am in a difficult situation, I lost my job, right? What do I do? How can I be relevant? If you are doing something what you are doing, you will only get what you are getting. This saying you might have come across this lines. So before pandemic, you were doing something, you were excellent. Now you are in trouble. You are in a pandemic, you are in a crisis, you are in an ambiguous time. So if you do the same thing, you were doing the same thing and you were not getting what you were getting. So what do you think of doing the same thing? What is the point in doing the same thing? So you have to do something different to add an extra in that ordinary. Start doing something differently and make yourself extraordinary. So I'll tell you my experience. How can you reinvent yourself? In 2004, when I was leaving Navy, I had a job offer from BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, which is a dream job for any electronics engineer. So with a lot of happiness and all, when I was going to Bangalore, my dad had the second attack. So it was something different. I came back. He was hospitalized. Then I decided. He said I cannot. He said we are not coming. I wanted to take my parents to Bangalore. He said we are not coming. We cannot come. So without thinking anything, I was only acting as a son. So this is what I would like to tell you. That is the reason I am sharing. My decision to throw away my job in BEL was a wrong decision as a profession. Without thinking anything else, it was only the emotions I had in my mind to take care of my parents, to be with my dad. That was the only motive I had. But as a son, if I look at it, that decision was the right decision. I have no regrets on it. But if I look at it as an electronics engineer, I feel sad about losing that job, that particular career. Okay, so when you are deciding, when you are into making critical decision, you have to ensure that never ever include your emotions into it. Only look at the critical thinking and the logical thinking. These two things are supposed to be there while deciding your career or any okay, some personal decision you have to involve your emotions as well. But most of the time what happens is that when emotions comes in, you will not be able to look at the logics of it and the consequences of those decisions. So preferably always keep emotions away while taking critical decisions. Okay, after that I realized there is no electronics industry in Cochin. So I got stuck up. What do I do now? My profile is not fitting anyway. I got fed up. I was frustrated. Then I did not sit and think about it. I lost my job. I kicked away my job. This, that, nothing. What I did is that I don't want to leave electronics and communication. So what I did is that I learned computer hardware and networking. I joined courses. I got internationally certified from Microsoft, Cisco, and Red Hat. Then I went for a job. There the interesting part comes in. Interview done, technical test or the technical interview was over, and finally when I was in front of the HR, I was 33 years old, fresher, right? 33-year-old fresher in computer hardware and networking with international certifications. All those, all other candidates with me were 10 to 12 years younger than me, who have just completed the actual freshers, that just completed their graduation and completed some course in hardware and networking or certified and applying for work. The HR had a problem. If they recruit me, my supervisors, whom I am going to work under, are 25, 26 years old. So they are openly said, no, we have problem with this. So fourth interview, I decided, okay, you want to repeat this stuff. I'm not doing it. Then what I did is I took up teaching, technical teaching as my profession. I realized the salary was so bad about it. I was used to something and fall down so badly, then I was not able to settle. So I kept looking for a job. Then I joined another company as IT consultant. From a faculty coordinator, I moved up a bit as an IT consultant. It is again a training institute, but the advantage was that we were connected with college. There the turning point comes. So I was, every time I used to look, every month when I get the salary in my account and I get a message, I used to, think, what am I doing? Then we had a business development manager who was titled as implementation manager. He fell sick and he was advised 3 months of bed rest due to some disc prolapse. And the management wanted to recruit people as replacement to him, but they couldn't find anybody. And director one day called me and said he had the first level of talks with 3 colleges and you just go and meet them and see if you get close. So I was not aware of, I was thinking, what do I sell? How do I do? What all things? I don't know. I'm zero. I called John and I asked John, which are the colleges? And he has briefed me all those things. I used to talk to him every day, every day in the night after reaching home for around 1 hour to understand what it is. I practiced how to, the sales pitch, all these things, and I went to meet these management 3 colleges, and I was very lucky to close 2 of them that same month. The interesting part is, on the 5th of that month, next month, following month, when I got message, there were 2 messages from my bank. One was my salary, the second was my incentives, and which inspired me. The incentives were more than my salary. Okay, so then I realized I can do sales as well. So just ask yourself, if Sudevan can do sales, who was a core techie, why can't you people do it? Anybody can do this. The only thing required is mindset. Think about it. You have to learn from people, discuss with people who have knowledge about it. They will teach you. Just listen to them, understand those nitty-gritties and practice. That is going to help you do it perfectly, right? First time, second time you might fail, doesn't matter, but try it again, do it again. Unless you act upon, experience it, you are not going to grow. That is very, very important. Practice, prepare yourself for that task. If you take informed decision, the risk is not going to be that big. Even if you fall, once you have prepared, that I may fall, the impact of the failure is going to be very minimal. You will be able to bounce back, in fact, bounce forward. So this is what you have to understand. For that, you have to reinvent yourself. Anybody can move on to any career. I have proved it. I myself is an living example in front of you. From electronics to, computer networking, as a trainer, then, as a salesperson, now as a full-time trainer and mentor. I do counseling as well, So ask yourself, what would happen if I remain in the current state? If I was happy or I wanted to settle down with the salary I was getting as a technical trainer, I would have not grown, right? My salary would have never been grown. The technical trainer has a limitation. So ask yourself, is it okay to remain in this particular state? You have to see that your enlarged picture from a cat to a lion, in fact, whom the entire, organizations or, any customer or consumer, everybody is going to accept. You have to look at yourself in that way, the perception, you have to look at yourself in that way, enlarge yourself. That is going to make you think and reinvent yourself, polish your skills, upgrade your skills, and update your skills. How to manage yourself and adapt change. Every human is capable of adapting to change, but we cannot do it only because of our mindset. Progress is impossible without the change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. This is said by Bernard Shaw. I add on to this, be the change. Anybody can change. But what is change then? Your current state and your desired state. Your journey from the current state to the desired state is what is the change. And unless you prepare, make up your mind, you will never be able to change, accept change, and it will be impossible for you to progress. Progress is possible only when you change your mindset. Here I would like to share another experience of mine. As I said, since I was in the Navy for 15 years, I was very particular about keeping myself fit. Moreover, I have a very bad medical family background. So I used to invest, minimum 60 minutes for my body every day, unless otherwise there is a training like this or sessions like this, I will not skip my investment of 60 minutes for my body. So there was a routine. I used to go daily 6 kilometers, 3 one way, 3 back. So what I do is I used to walk, and in between I used to run also, not running, jogging. But when I start jogging, I used to feel pain on my heart. I used to feel pain on my thighs. My calf is paining. I feel like a cramp on my calf. I feel like I'm not able to breathe, right? Then I stop. This is the routine which was happening for years. Okay, till the time, till 11th December 2018, the date. I completed my 3 kilometers and I was coming back. I was walking. So I had seen one guy fully sweat pass by. Once he passed ahead of me, he turned back and looked at me, and we both realized that we are friends. So he said, "Hi." He stopped and he said, "Hi, Sudevan, how are you?" His name was George. So George said, "Hey, come, let's run." So he was on that flow, So I thought, okay, why to say no to him? So I started running. After some time, maybe half a kilometer or maybe, so I said, no, stop. As usual. I said, stop. He said, what happened? What is the problem? No, I said, okay, I can only run this much. So he said he's practicing for 21 kilometers, half marathon, which is to be conducted on 29th of December 2018. I said, what? 21 kilometers? He said, yeah, I run 20 kilometers daily. And his target is first 3 in above 50 category. So I said, oh, in 2018, I was 47. He is 6 years older than me, and he was 53. After he left, I was wondering, he started running, and they very long strides, you won't believe, very long strides. So I was wondering, what the hell? I am not able to run, And to my surprise, I was a footballer, right? In 1986, 1987, and 1989, I ran 15 kilometers. These marathons, these half marathon and short marathons are happening, mini marathons happening for Cochin Carnival during the month of December. So I was wondering, I used to run 15 kilometers. I used to run in Navy. So that means till 33 years of age, I used to run. We used to have a 1.5 hour PT. So I was wondering, what the hell is this? So I started running, thinking of 23rd there is a 10-kilometer race, mini marathon. At 29th there is a 21-kilometer half marathon. Oh. Then I reached my end point just near to my house. I realized I have almost ran 2 kilometers of distance without any problem, because my mind was all looking at him. My focus was on him. My focus was on that 10 kilometers. He wanted to come in first or second in this 10-kilometer race. So I was wondering, why the hell? Now I had no problem, because I was not thinking about it, thinking about my breath, thinking about my chest, thinking about my thighs or muscles. Look at it. I used to do this on a daily basis for the last few years, and I was not able to run. If you start today and try to run for 3 kilometers or something like that, you might find it difficult. And tomorrow onwards, you might have a muscle pain. But you have to start a bit, break it into pieces, then you increase on a daily basis, you will be able to run fine. There's no problem. Next day I started running, and 3 kilometers I completed, came back walking. Then in 5 days time, 5th day, I have completed 6 kilometers of running. What does it mean? That recalls a quote I have read. Your body can withstand any dam, only your mind has to be convinced. Please understand, it is the only problem we have is our mindset. As I earlier said, what people think, what others think. Will I be able to do that? That you start doubting yourself. Then your mind start playing the game, stopping you from doing anything, taking action. Please understand, you have to fool your mind by shifting the focus to some other thing. We need to redefine our understanding of the world around us. Once you became aware of yourself, you have to have awareness about your surrounding environment, circumstances. That reshapes our economies and societies in unprecedented ways. That will affect you as well. No one knows exactly how things will evolve. When we started having this COVID-19 cases, we had people saying in the reports, this will end by July, this will end by September. Now we are in 2021, February 20th. We still struggle with COVID-19, right? We have become, the mask, sanitizers, and, social distancing have become parts and parcel of our life. It has become a routine. Mask has become the dress code. The sanitizer has become a part like our, wallet in your pocket. It is also there in your pocket or your vehicle. So this is something what you have to understand. It will require new thinking, new approaches, new models, new tools to adapt to this rapidly changing world. So unless you manage yourself and prepare your mindset for all these things and think differently, you will not be able to manage yourself and thrive. 3 Ds to thrive. What do you mean by thrive? Earlier, before the pandemic, you were excellent. Now you are surviving. What do you mean by surviving? Surviving means, if I take this, your income and expenditure is the same. That means you are surviving. Because if there is an exigency, not only medical emergencies or any other emergency, there can be celebrations of your loved ones as well, wherein you need to spend money extra money required. Where do you find that? Because your income for that month is finished by the time it is 30th. If you spend extra for some other reason, how do you manage your daily requirements till 30th of the month? So that in that particular situation, you call it as survival. You are in the survival mode. You were excellent, but because of this ambiguity, you have become fallen into a survival mode. So now you have to bounce forward to become excellent in this ambiguity as well. So that is why I said, when you reinvent yourself, you add that extra into it. You have to think from a cat to lion. So for that, you need 3 Ds: determination, dedication, and discipline. These are the 3 aspects what you are supposed to be looking for, right? When you say that determination, what is that determination all about? Determination is an attitude, a positive attitude, which will help you, have that will to do things. Stick on to that particular thing. Develop an attitude to ensure that whatever the setbacks happening, you won't, give up. You will keep moving forward. You will do it again and again and again. That is what is determination is all about. Developing a positive attitude is very, very important. Then comes dedication. What do you mean by dedication? Stick to it again, but with a self-belief, making your belief system stronger and making you more confident, more and more confident to, do that particular thing. Your confidence is very important because your confidence is going to drive your body language, which in turn will be perceived by people as your personality, because your body language is visible outside. People look at it. That is what is confidence of yours for them and your personality for them. So you have to have that belief system stronger to ensure that you have a very good confidence, very positive confidence, and your body language is very strong to demonstrate that your personality is most accepted. And discipline. How many of you are disciplined? Can you type in what is the kind of discipline you have? We all know that discipline is something what okay, let's take the case of office of a company. Why did the management decided to bring in punching system, including the government offices? Because to ensure that staff become disciplined, punctual. Punctuality is the basics of discipline. You need to have that particular thing. Without even a punching system, you should be able to go on time. If your office timing starts at 9 o'clock, you are supposed to be there on your seat with your systems on when it ticks 9 o'clock. That is what is discipline is. When the management finds that you, instead of 9 o'clock, you reach by 9:05, 9:10, 9:50, 9:30, then the management is forced to bring in a disciplinary action wherein if you become late for 3 days, your half salary is cut. When it is 5 days, your 1 day salary is cut. These kind of disciplinary actions are taken only to ensure that you are disciplined. You are punctual. So when you are disciplined, what happens is you will be able to execute your plans on time in the right direction. That is what is the advantage of discipline. If you are disciplined, all those things will fall in time, in the right way. You might have heard of saying, timing is very important. Because of the discipline, you will be able to follow the timing. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail, is what is the quote. So ensure that you are determined, you are dedicated, and you are disciplined to thrive. So before we get into this, can I ask you something? What is the best weapon you believe? The weapon. Let me take you to a story of Akbar and Birbal. One day, Akbar asked Birbal, Birbal, what is the best weapon? Birbal thought for a second and said, you know that Birbal is very sharp. He said, what is in your hand? The king got irritated. He said, what? What is in your hand? What do you mean by that? Huh? What you have in your hand is your best weapon. So he picked up a flower and said, I have flower in my hand. Is this a weapon? He said, I will prove it when time comes. And he went off. Later, they have gone for a hunting. And meanwhile, in between the hunting, what happens is that soldiers and Akbar and Birbal got separated in the forest. So while Birbal and Akbar was going, they realized that there is a mad elephant coming running towards them. So Akbar said, hey, where is my sword? Where is my bow and arrow? Come on, what? Birbal, do something. By the time it was approaching them, Birbal saw a puppy nearby them. He picked up that puppy and threw that puppy against the running elephant. So you know that when the puppy was picked up also, it started crying. And when it was thrown towards the elephant, it started screaming, cow, cow, right? Hearing this sound and something coming ahead, and the elephant stopped and this puppy came and hit the elephant's head. When it hit the elephant, it got hurt. It started screaming even wilder. So got scared. The elephant did not see what is happening. Elephant got scared of the scream and he ran back. Oh, Akbar said, hey, Birbal, what you did? What was that? Huh? He said, I told you, I will prove that what is in your hand is the best weapon. So we saved ourselves. So what is that your best weapon? To, face or to attack back, start a counter attack towards this ambiguity. So transforming habits of resilience to independent and valuable empowerment. Let's look at Thrive in this particular aspect. So every one of you need to look into this in this way. Upgrade your skills, update yourself to thrive in this ambiguity. So what do you mean by update? Update is something, all of us know that we get, software updates on our computers, in our lap, mobile phones. So that is updating with the latest developments in the technology itself. Now, what do you mean by upgrade? So let's take an example of, say there is an accountant. It is the simplest way of putting it. So before pandemic, you were a very good accountant, who was capable of managing ledgers. No problem. You were very smart. You were excellent. Now, in this pandemic, in this ambiguity, you are the capability to manage and maintain the ledgers is not going to take you anywhere. Now you have to upgrade to online accounting software. First, you should know how to do GST, right? How GST is done. That is the next thing what you should know. The next thing is that how to register GST online and upload all your filings, all your transactions, file GST online. You should know Microsoft Excel, very, very important to become a good accountant who in demand. Okay, I'm talking about a person in demand, a professional in demand, whom the organization cannot deny during an interview process. So you should know ERP, enterprise resource planning. So you should know how the finances, budgeting, all these things. When you know a lot of things, from the, from a broad perspective, you should be able to look at a broad perspective and very focused. So this is what is going to make you, uh, enhance your profile to a profile which is in demand. As I said, no one can deny that profile. So all of you need to do this particular thing. Prepare yourself, right? So with this, myself, Sudevan Kalabardha Janardhanan, signing off, wishing you all the very best to transform yourself, upgrade, update, and transform yourself to thrive in this ambiguity. Thank you very much for joining and listening to me. Sushma, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sudevanji. That was a wonderful session. I have my notes written down. There is so much of learning, and the examples you shared were very good ones, and the stories as well. What you told us were amazing. I was like, okay, when you start a story or example, I'm like, okay, now what's coming up?
Thank you.
Those were really great. So I will just summarize very quickly, not all the points, very important ones, because you have already given us so much. So as you said, practice, upgrade, upskill yourself, stay prepared, the 3Ds to thrive, reinvent yourself, and the way you have given your example from from electronics to IT to sales, counselor and trainer, that is awesome, which I have never thought of, like changing a career. Yes, but I have seen a few of others like you, which is a great learning. Survival versus thrival. You gave us a good example, a good understanding. Then the mindset, we should have a growth mindset. And yes, so that is long, but I would stop here so that others get chance.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that others also get chance to ask any questions they have, or any comments, anything they want to share. The floor is open. And I also like the example where you shared about emotions, how emotions play an important role in all the decisions we take, and how where to draw a line between them is really very important. So thank you very much for the wonderful session. And the floor is open. Anyone has any questions, any comments, do share. You can unmute yourself, you can type in the chat box or raise your hand as you like. Jason, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sushma. Thank you so much, Sudevanji, for the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
The most striking part was the 3Ds, determination, discipline, and dedication. I think that was the basic thing for everything. And if we lose discipline, if we lose dedication, focus, determination, everything is gone. Thank you so much for reminding us, and may God bless you continually. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, so anyone has any questions? Abu, you want to say something?
Thank
you for joining in today.
Thank you. Good evening. How are you? Yeah.
Good evening. Thanks for joining.
So nice to hear our Sudevan, great Sudevan, 5 AM member. When I also noted points as it's all touching our life, it's experience and changing the career from one to another. And while explaining, making understanding by giving the suitable stories, it was so awesome. I was just like shocking mode. In between, I got some prayer time, so that's why I disconnected. But I will go to YouTube and I will listen that also. I already subscribed that channel. So thank you so much. Such a wonderful and nice, touching and relevant topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, I had a problem in telling stories because there is a storyteller.
But we cannot, but we cannot see that. We cannot feel that you are not able to do that. But you did
No, no,
great.
no. No, what I was saying, no, to tell story in front of a storyteller, right?
Yeah.
Other
Like,
places, other forums, you have no problem. You don't know, right?
You mean Jason
Because-
Abraham, right?
So when you go for, you don't know, and I feel that I am the master of the platform, right? So I don't look at who all are there. So
Yeah,
I had an experience also. That is very
even
important.
I felt it. Even I felt. See, there is very minimum, but still you are you are not caring about that. Whatever you have in front of you, you are concentrating in that, conveying the message in a beautiful way. That is the greatness you showed.
I was not able to
Thank
see
you.
the chat. Why is it?
No, we are, chat is enabled. We
But
all
I
are
was not-
chatting.
I
We
was
all are.
I was taking the chat box to see how the response is, but I
Yes.
was not able to see that. When I
You
click
should
on
have told
chat,
me. I should have read it for you. It's okay. It's okay. I can just copy the chat and share it with you if you want.
okay.
Yes. So anyone else? Thank you, Abu, for sharing the views.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abu, for joining.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Meanwhile, I will just give a thank you note once again. And if you have any questions, please do type in or raise your hand. So this is a virtual bouquet, as you were talking about online thingy. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
this
very
is
much.
for you. So it was a
Accepted.
wonderful learning, wonderful session. Thank you once again. And here is our next week's speaker. So we have Shailenji in the room as well currently, and he's
Yeah.
one of the active members in the group. His name is Shailen Shukla. Sorry, okay. He is a logistics and supply chain professional. He is amazing at different, I would say, different areas, which is ERP and system, ERP and system implementations. He's a management professional for procurement, vendor, profit centers. He's an award winner for Supply Chain of the Year 2013 and 2014. He's currently with e-commerce startup, and he's e-commerce pro, I would say. He's also a business strategist, a great person with finance, designing, and compliance, heading operations for Egypt, KSA, and UAE. And he's also experienced with imports from China, Europe, and USA. There is a lot to talk about him, and we'll do that in next session, because we'll be welcoming him as the speaker on this amazing platform. So thank you once again. And Abu has raised his hand. Yes, Abu.
Yeah, while seeing this profile, I also it is related to me also. I am also logistics and supply chain management professional, and I am also handling different countries like from Africa and Europe, China. So I will make sure I will be here next week.
Hi, Abu, are you in e-commerce?
E-commerce, I have a light connection, not completely, but I am
okay.
Importing and exporting.
No worries, no worries. We'll learn from each other in the next session.
Yeah, also completed logistics and supply chain management in Manipal University as a regular PG. It's a PG.
In logistics, degrees have no value.
Yeah, no value, but I have
the job.
Yes.
Learn
8 years.
Most of us,
8 years experience are there. So that
most
is
of us have learned on the job.
Of course. Thank you. Want to hear from you.
He's IIMS, by the way, Shailenji.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ahmedabad.
Great.
Okay. So yes, it's time to close. Anyone wants to share anything before we close for today? I think we are good to close then.
Yes, we're good to close.
Okay, Susan has put in the message, though I joined late, I feel I understood much. Thank you, Susan, for your comment.
Also, we have in YouTube, we can go there and watch.
Yes, yes.
I have shared the link.
Session is all the sessions are
Subscribe, yeah.
recorded and available.
And Sushma, we cannot copy a text from the chat box. I think there is something you didn't give the permission in the settings. I tried to copy that chat, a link.
No,
It's
chat
not-
will be okay. Link you are talking about. You're not able to click on the link.
Yeah,
Just click on the link.
I can.
Yeah,
It
link
will
is
go.
clickable. You can click and it will take you to the web page.
Yeah, if you want to save, if you want to copy something, but it is not. It's only showing.
No, are
selection
you part of
option.
a copy? You cannot because you are not the host or co-host. But you will
Yeah,
be able
okay.
to click the link. If you join our group, you can. Then we keep sharing these.
I am already in.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Jason, just let me copy the chat, or if you can copy, save the chat.
I'll save the chat.
Okay. Okay. We'll share with Sudevanji then. Okay. It was great meeting on this platform again today. Thank you. We'll see you all next week, same time. Sudevanji, you are on mute. Thank you, Anu. Thank you.
Thanks.
Susan.
Bye.
Thank you, Manoj, Thomas ji, Shailen ji, Abubakar.
Once
Thanks,
again, thank you,
bye-bye.
Sushma and Jason, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.